The line between tech companies and traditional businesses disappeared years ago. You just might not have noticed yet. I've watched this shift happen across industries. The restaurant managing customer data through loyalty programs needs the same strategic technology thinking as a SaaS startup. The manufacturing company optimizing supply chains with AI faces identical challenges to a fintech firm. The distinction between tech and non-tech companies doesn't exist as it once did. The 10-hour reality. Here's what most business leaders miss. You need Chief Technology Officer level strategic thinking, but you probably don't need it 40 hours a week. Traditional businesses typically require about 10 hours of strategic technology guidance weekly. That's enough time to map your technology roadmap to business objectives, evaluate vendor relationships and platform decisions, assess security vulnerabilities before they become crises, and guide AI implementation without the typical 74% failure rate. The math is straightforward. A full-time CTO costs $230,000 to $380,000 annually, often exceeding $400,000 with total compensation. Fractional technology leadership runs $150 to $300 per hour. You get strategic expertise without the overhead of a full-time executive you don't fully utilize. When full-time chief technology officers need fractional support, the fractional model isn't just for companies without technology leadership. Organizations with existing chief technology officers increasingly bring in fractional advisors for specialized capabilities. Your CTO knows your systems. A fractional advisor brings fresh perspective on AI implementation strategies that actually work, compliance frameworks for evolving regulations, cybersecurity protocols addressing new threat vectors, and cloud migration approaches your team hasn't considered. The technology skills gap hit 87% of organizations in 2024. Even strong internal teams face knowledge gaps in rapidly evolving areas like AI, where 60% of IT decision-makers report their largest skills shortage. The real problem: strategic gaps, not technical ones. Most technology failures stem from strategic misalignment, not technical incompetence. Research shows 70% of AI implementation challenges come from people and process issues. Only 10% involve the actual algorithms, yet organizations pour disproportionate resources into the technical side while ignoring the strategic foundation. Half of business leaders admit they lack a clear picture of IT's role in digital transformation. More than a third of technology leaders say business leadership needs to understand technology's capabilities and limitations better. This communication breakdown costs you money and momentum. Every business collects customer data. Few treat it as the strategic asset it represents. Your customer data can drive predictive insights that shape product development, personalization that increases conversion rates, operational efficiencies that reduce costs, and competitive advantages competitors can't easily replicate, but only with strategic technology leadership guiding how you collect, analyze, and leverage that data. Data sovereignty alone represents a blind spot for most organizations. Companies lose market access because they never mapped data jurisdictions. EU data transfer rules change, and businesses scramble to achieve compliance in 30 days because no one thought strategically about data location decisions. 90% of organizations are undergoing digital transformation right now. CEOs recognize the stakes. 45% doubt their company's current trajectory keeps them viable beyond the next decade without significant transformation advances. The fractional leadership model grew from 60,000 practitioners in 2022 to 120,000 in 2024. LinkedIn users mentioning fractional C-suite services jumped from 2,000 to 114,000 in the same period. Demand for fractional chief technology officers specifically increased 25% in 2024. 72% of CEOs plan to increase their use of fractional executives this year. The market is telling you something. What this means for your business. You can't opt out of being a technology company. The question is whether you'll approach technology strategically or reactively. Strategic technology leadership helps you. Avoid the 74% of companies that struggle to achieve value from AI initiatives. Navigate the 45% of technology leaders who've seen staffing challenges derail projects. Bridge the gap between business objectives and technical execution, and turn technology from a cost center into a competitive advantage. The traditional division between tech and non-tech companies served us well for decades. That era ended. Every company is a technology company now. The only question is whether you have the strategic leadership to act like one.